In the dense, shadowy depths of an ancient forest, where the branches of old trees twist together like skeletal fingers, there was a place no tarantula dared to tread: the Cursed Hollow. The ground was soft and rich, perfect for building burrows. But the hollow was avoided by all. Its dark legend whispered among the tarantulas, a tale of the ancient spider queen, Noctera. Amelia, a beautiful Mexican red-legged tarantula, was no stranger to walking through the forest at night. She moved silently over the leaf litter, her sensitive legs feeling the faintest vibrations of the earth beneath her. Unlike some spiders that spin webs to trap their prey, tarantulas like Emilia relied on their speed and stealth to ambush insects and small creatures. Tonight, however, something felt different. There were no sounds of rustling beetles or chirping crickets. The forest in this area had gone still. Amelia approached the edge of the Cursed Hollow, her body low to the ground, her senses on high alert. The legend of Noctera weighed heavily on her mind. Noctera, the ancient salmon-pink bird-eater, was said to have been the largest tarantula to ever roam this forest. Her body covered in thick bristles, her twisted legs spanning the width of a large leaf. Known for her powerful presence, Noctera had once ruled these woods, hunting not just for insects, but birds, frogs, and small mammals. Just like other tarantulas of her kind, known to tackle larger prey with their size and their strength. But Noctera's greed for control over the forest had angered the ancient spirits. As punishment, she was cursed to wander the hollow alone as a hungry ghost, her eternal hunger never to be satisfied. It was said that any tarantula that ventured too close to her domain would never return. Drawn into her lair by a force they could not resist. Despite the warnings, Amelia's curiosity had brought her here on this Halloween night. With the lightning flashing, her legs brushed softly against the moss-covered ground as she ventured deeper into the dark hollow, where the moonlight barely reached. Tarantulas like Emilia often construct their burrows in hidden, sheltered places, using silk to line their dens. But there were no burrows here, just dense undergrowth and ancient trees with roots that stretched far and wide. Amelia paused as the lightning flashed, and the ground beneath her began to tremble ever so slightly. She could feel it. A subtle vibration. Like the approach of something large and powerful. Tarantulas use the fine hairs on their legs and body to detect the faintest movements in their environment, sensing nearby prey or predators. But this movement was not normal. It was something far larger and far more sinister than a wandering insect. Suddenly, from behind the trunk of a massive tree, Noctera emerged. Amelia's eyes locked onto the Queen of the Hollow, and for a moment, she was struck by her sheer size. Noctera was immense, much larger than Amelia. Her powerful legs moved slowly and twitched with the agony of a tarantula forced to wander the hollow alone for centuries. Her body, covered in dark brown and pinkish bristles, moved unnaturally in bursts and twitches. Noctera's fangs, though tucked beneath her body, glistened faintly in the dim light, capable of delivering venom potent enough to subdue even the largest of prey. Noctera didn't have the supernatural appearance of the monsters from most scary stories. No, she was a true tarantula, a hunter like Emilia. But her presence was overwhelming. Her many eyes, though small and dark, gleamed with an intelligence and malevolence beyond that of an ordinary spider. She had lived for far longer than any of her kind, and the forest itself seemed to bend to her will. Emilia watched as Noctera moved through the hollow with her deliberate slowness. Her large legs brushing over the fallen leaves, making almost no sound at all. Tarantulas are ambush predators, relying on stealth and speed to capture their prey. They don't chase their meals. Instead, they wait for the right moment to strike. And yet, Noctera wasn't hunting prey tonight. She was watching Amelia. A sudden rustle in the leaves broke the silence. Amelia tensed, her body ready to flee. But Noctara remained still, her dark eyes fixed on Emilia. The air felt heavy, as though the very earth beneath them was waiting in anticipation for something sinister to happen. Amelia knew that if she stayed, she would be drawn into Noctera's web of influence. Trapped for eternity in the cursed hollow she had been warned about repeatedly. Amelia could almost feel the invisible threads of Noctara's domain pulling at her, like a trap, eagerly waiting to be sprung. The curiosity was strong, and her desire to enter the hollow grew stronger by the moment. Almost as if the twisted roots beckoned her to enter with promises of eternal feasting and long life. With a burst of instinct, Amelia turned and bolted into the underbrush. Her legs moving swiftly as she retreated from the hollow. The forest seemed to exhale around her. The oppressive stillness lifting as she escaped Noctara's grasp. Behind her, the Queen of the Hollow watched in silence. But she did not dare to follow. Noctara did not need to chase. Her domain was eternal. And she knew that one day, another tarantula would come to her, drawn by the same curiosity that had nearly trapped Emilia. As Amelia fled back into the safer parts of the forest, she knew that the legend of the Curse Hollow would live on, whispered among the tarantulas who roamed the woods. They would speak of Noctara, the ancient salmon-pink bird-eater, whose hunger for power had cursed her to eternal isolation. And they would remember that some stories, though steeped in myth, carried just enough truth to send a chill through even the bravest tarantula. So heed the warnings of the dark forest. Avoid the cursed hollow. And be careful to not let your curiosity override your survival instincts. Or you may find yourself eternally trapped in Noctara's web of influence. Cursed to spend eternity trying to satiate a hunger that knows no end.